This is the 1.6.2 balance patch. This is this patch goes live on Tuesday, July 1st. This is next week. This is just the balance patch in between patches. So last patch was Yuri. Next patch is Yuri's sister. This is the balance patch. Yeah, lots of focus on augment balance. There's going to be a lot of slight changes in this, right? A lot of small changes, etc. But new skin, Bunny Yin. Bunny girl Yin. I need her badly. Balance, what is this? Oh, this is just general balance changes. Is this included? Here, one sec. Is this included in a lot of these? Yeah, it is. Okay. So this is I'm gonna skip over these when we go over per hero changes. But in general, melee heroes get less health. Ranged heroes get less health. Magic armor for melee heroes reduced by a decent amount. Magic armor for ranged heroes reduced by a little bit less. Mage mid laners should find themselves finding more success against a wider range of classes. Cool. Mage, if you guys are unaware, mages are like not awesome at the moment. Like there's like 3 or 4 really good mages and then the rest of them don't do anything. Let's see. Various melee magical damage dealers have received small damage nerfs to offset the burst potential. That makes sense. Characters like Quang or Aurora get giga buffed by the fact that their opponents have less HP and less armor. So there you go. Various augment quality of life changes. So for all of these like base stat changes, I won't go over these per hero. I'll just go over the rest of the balance. Again, the exact numbers will change based on hero to hero, but realistically, this is one of those things that's just like, in general, heroes will have a little bit less HP, and mages will do a little bit more damage. That's all you need to know. Nitro mode. There's some changes made to Nitro. I saw these. Basically, they're trying to make Nitro faster. Or I guess maybe not faster. They're trying to make sure that Nitro games don't go on for a long time. Apparently, people were having like really long Nitro games. So they're making sure that basically every Nitro game is over at 25 minutes. Right? They don't want the Nitro games to be 30 minutes. They should be 20-minute games, right? Realistically, they should be 20-minute games. They're just making the game a little bit faster. So like XP increased, right? Passive gold increased. Kill gold increased, right? Like this is all kind of just making the game a little bit faster. So a lot of these numbers don't matter a crazy amount, you know, like towers are a little less tanky when you take a plate, you know. Minions get a little bit more or a little bit less XP off of sieges, right? Like because you get more passive XP. There's a lot of changes in here. It's basically just going to make the game faster. I obviously don't play a lot of Nitro. I do think the game mode is pretty good, I won't lie. But obviously don't play it a lot. So yeah, this is Nitro changes. Minor augment balances. So minor augments are the ones that all heroes have access to. Just to clarify. Kennedy, thank you for the tier 1, man. Welcome to the pin zone, dude. I appreciate it. Welcome. Veracity gets a nerf. This one's OP. Small nerf to it. Give you a little less healing throughout the game. Regenerator gets a little bit of a change. Realistically, this is a buff. Well, this is a nerf. Duration increased means that this healing takes place over a longer period of time. It means you get less HP per second. You do get more missing HP healing, which means this is slightly better late game. But realistically, this is a small nerf to this. Technocrat no longer reduces ult cooldowns. I don't know why this reduced ult cooldowns. I don't think it was supposed to. It just did. I don't even know like who you're really seeing this value on. I guess you saw it on more heroes. If you're just autoing minions, I guess you can get your ult back a little faster, but whatever. Farmer gets a change here. So Farmer, they're separating the minion and monster damage. So the lane minion damage is going up to 8%. Don't know why they're buffing this one. It's one of the best minor augs in the game, and they're buffing it. It's insane. The monster damage going down means that this will be slightly worse for junglers, but it mostly means that mid laners and carries aren't going to take farmer so that they can take Fangtooth in 5 minutes, right? Iggy with farmer gets 1% less damage on Fangtooth is really what this means. I don't know why they're buffing it for lane. I don't think it needs buffed for lane, but they are, so cool. Alchemist gets a little bit of a buff here. I don't think this one's very good. I just don't think this one's very good. Like, in the off lane, I think Alchemist is okay. Maybe on a couple of supports, Alchemist is okay. But, like, on a mid laner, just fight for a river buff. You know what I mean? Like, call your jungle over, get a river buff, and you get more mana off of river buff than you'll ever get off of Alchemist. I don't know. I don't think that it's... I don't think this one is crazy. Hero balance changes. All melee hero magical armor growth decreased by 0.4 over the course of a game, right? This is like -4 armor. Is that right? That was quick math. 0.4 times 18. Was it times 18 or is it times 17? I don't know. Kind of like -4 magic armor. Ranged heroes get like -2. It's a little bit less. You'll take a little bit more damage from mages. Move speed Argus augment got nerfed a little bit. This is fine. Again, I think people should start experimenting with the other Argus augments. I think this one is really good, and it'll still be really good in the games where it's good. I don't think this is every game augment. I think you're picking this one, it's good. I think the other two that Argus has are actually both pretty solid. Health growth decreased. We talked about this earlier. Aurora, base stats. Hoarfrost, this is her right click, right? This is her right click. Secondary, no, this is her E, her root. Less base damage, more scaling. They're doing this to a lot of heroes, by the way. Less base damage, more scaling. Makes tank builds do a little bit less damage. Boris, bonus armor increased on this augment. This is actually pretty good. Boris augments are pretty bad, so like this is pretty solid. This one, dude, I don't know, man. Like, this augment is so funky. This is the dash augment. That makes your dash do more damage to people below 25%. It seems good, but it seems bait. Like, if someone's at 25%, you're probably killing them with a dash anyway. And do you need the bonus damage? Like, not really. Maybe if you're playing tank Boris, like, this is actually low-key kind of good. But I just don't really see the upside to this. And then his ult gets a cooldown reduction. Countess, her Q augment gets a buff. I don't really get this one. Like, I mean, this is so that you can, like, Q in, auto the wave, Q out, or something like that. Like, I don't really understand. Bloodwell, max health per thing increased. I don't know why. This augment is disgusting when it gets rolling. I really, like, this, if you get a Bloodwell, you're now instantly full HP. 45% max HP healing. Right. Obviously, again, this you have to get a kill before this works, but still, I think this one's really good. Base stat changes, very cool. Blade Siphon, less scaling, less healing. This will make her a little less potent in off lane, like level 1, 2. Crunch gets a little bit of a buff here. It's no longer 5% bonus attack speed. It's 5% total attack speed, so you'll be able to feel this a little more early game. Decent buff. His dash aug got nerfed, so this might be the GOAT. Excuse me, dude. I got the fucking hiccups, man. This might be the go-to. Combo Crunch, this might be the go-to. Falcon Crunch, obviously. Kind of funny. Kind of good some games, but kind of funny. The dash was kind of the default. This one might be better now, especially in jungle, for your clear speed. The dash one is just so good. Like, even 15%, it's just so good to get extra range. Decker, her Q augment, the one that reduces the cooldown. Reduces the cooldown by like 15% when you hit a hero. Now also gives 10% damage. Low key, Decker mid might be more viable now. Like, this probably lets you full clear archers with 2 Qs, like level 4. Like level 4 or 5, you're clearing archers with 2 Qs. So low key might be okay. The ult gets the armor shred reduced. Yeah, that shit's OP. Drongo, his smog therapy. This one is awesome, bro. This is such a funny change. So right now, the healing on Drongo Grenade is based on hero level. Just scales with hero level. Now it will be based on ability level plus scaling. 120% physical power scaling and 120% magic power scaling. Dude, this shit late game, if you build full Mage Drongo, because so his other abilities are also getting some scaling increases, by the way. His Gag Grenade gets some magic power scaling added onto it, 100% magic power scaling. Funny. And then his Boomerang gets 40%. Keep in mind it hits twice, so it's 80%. Low key, like mixed Drongo or AP Drongo could go kind of hard. It could go kind of hard. 120%. Dude, late game, this is a 1k heal. This is a 1k plus heal. Like, that is kind of nuts. That's kind of nuts. Fangmouth, dude, they didn't like this. They didn't like this, how OP this was. His knockup gets gutted. 40% is really low. Almost half knockup height, right? Right now it's like a 1 second knockup, or maybe like a 1.25 knockup. And now it's not gonna be that. It's you're just gonna go duelist every game now. This one's I'll test it, right? But I don't think this one will be good now. And then Earth Shatter gets some nerfs here, basically just a damage execute nerf all around. Gadget gets her shield augment buffed quite a bit, 55% scaling. This is like late game. I think this has 50 base shield on it too, I want to say. So like late game, this is going to be like a 350, 400 HP shield. It's pretty good on like a 6-second cooldown. That's pretty good. And then Sticky Mine, if you enhance it with an auto, does a little more damage. Gideon, the shield now applies before True Silver, his ult Augment now applies after True Silver, which means True Silver will get broken second, which means your ult shield protects your True Silver. This is good. This makes True Silver more valuable. Greystone, armor pen per level decreased from his passive, or his armor per level is decreased. Sure. His ultimate heals a little bit less. I think this character is kind of bait at the moment. I think he's really good if you're 5-0 at 10 minutes. I think he's very mediocre if you're not. Grim.exe. This is his passive the passive cooldown reset. The cooldown reset is a little bit lower, so 10% if you're hitting minions. But if you're hitting heroes, it's now 20%. So this one will probably be pretty good. I think this is a buff, realistically. This is a buff. Because in team fights, this is significantly better now, right? If you're proccing it on heroes, this is significantly better. And then he gets the dude, his reload ultimate. If you get a kill with your ult, you get to shoot it again. It now has Vanquisher on it. It now has Vanquisher on it. It is so awesome, man. It is so awesome. Yeah. And then this is bug fixed. I ran into this one too. If you have like an item proc kill off of your ult, it'll now reset rather than not giving you the reset. But yeah, now Grimult has execution, or has Vanquisher on it, which is so funny. I think that is so funny. His auto attacks get a little bit worse. His Q gets more physical power scaling, and his E, when you have it active, gets a little more physical power scaling as well. Overall, pretty net even for Grim. His autos going down sucks, but honestly, AP Grim might be the way now. Rux, blink cooldown increased, or the reduction is increased. So this is going to be like a 200-second blink cooldown from Grux. This is kind of nuts. Grux's double pain, a little bit of a damage boost, a little less healing. I mean, more healing level 1, less healing late game, which is all that really matters. Missing health healing changed as well. Overall, kind of net even for Grux, DBH. Howitzer, his R2000, his Q gets a bit of a damage boost. Iggy, I sure hope we're dumpstering Iggy. Let's see. Turrets now have 20% less HP when using 4 turret augment. Good. They should honestly have less than that, but this is a good change. They should have 20% less HP, period, TBH. They should always have 20% less HP, and then the augment should make them have 5,000 less HP. They should just insta-die. Anyways, his ult augment gets a little bit of a buff. His Molotov augment gets a buff too. This augment is so terrible. I don't know. So bad. And then turrets get a little bit of a damage nerf. They do a little less damage, and then they get a little less attack speed from your passive. Kalari Deadly Finesse now grants its cooldown refund when killing enemy units. This is the one that when you hit a dagger on an enemy hero, you get 1.5 seconds off your dagger, and you refund a little mana. It will now grant its cooldown refund when you kill minions. So like Kalari Mid is maybe what they're trying to go for. I don't know exactly what this is trying to do, but Kalari Mid probably gets a little bit better. Kai, his invade augment gets a little less power. Not a lot, but like -1. The early game will be 10% worse. His passive gets a little bit of a nerf here. Just a bit. Nothing crazy, but a little bit of a nerf. Kira, her Q augment gets a bit of a buff. If you're Q max on Kira, I mean, 10% is quite a bit. I do think that having to Q max is a bit of a downside. Like, right-click max on Kira is so good. Even after they nerfed it last patch, right-click max is so good that this is actually, and I think you still have to right-click max. This is going to be a bit of a nerf early game. But once you get your Q leveled up, this is going to be pretty good. Quang's his cooldown reduction augment goes down. I don't know why they're not nerfing the ult augment, but they're not nerfing the ult augment. His primary, his Q, little less damage. His passive, little bit less attack speed. They're just kind of lowering Quang's damage all around here. His shield goes down a little bit. The true damage goes down a little bit. I mean, on a full combo from Quang, you're just taking a little bit less damage. His ultimate, same thing, right? Little less damage. It's fine. I don't know why they're not nerfing the ultimate aug. It's really broken. I don't know why they're not touching it. Bellica, Void Bomb isolation damage increased. This one's interesting because the auto attack Bellica augment is so good. It's so good. I don't know why. Even at 20%, man, I don't know if you're gonna take this over the auto attack one. It does increase your damage to Fangtooth a lot. Maybe it's better. I mean, I'll have to test it. I'm honestly not certain. The auto attack one is so good, man. Moragesh, cooldown refund on her ult augment increased a little bit. So early game, this will be significantly better now. Morn. Base stat changes, of course. His Q cooldown goes up a little late game by 1 second. And the armor shred goes down. This character is really good right now, so that kind of makes sense. The damage mint on his on charging his E also goes down. Just making Morn a little bit easier to kill, a little bit lower utility. These are good changes. This character is really, really good. Yeah, quality of life. This description was one of the worst augment descriptions in the game. It did not tell you what it actually did. Good change. And then her Q augment is getting like giga buffed, bro. Doubling, it's the same late game, but doubling what it is at level 1. 4% of their current mana that you can suck and do as true damage is kind of crazy. Like, Muriel mid could be good now. Even in like off lane or support, I mean, this is going to be super annoying to play against. You have to keep in mind that this cooldown reset augment on Muriel is insane. So, are you really taking this on like Muriel support? Probably not. But Muriel mid, playable, I guess. Phase, damage buff to her beam augment, 5%, very cool. And then her passive, a little bit extra healing, very cool. Rampage, Rumble, less mana cost on Rumble. Rumble power scaling increased a tiny bit, very cool. Tiny Titan, less attack speed. It's attack speed per ultimate level now, and it's less even at max. Good change. Additional damage taken increased again. This augment is just so good at getting 1 kill every fight that it's kind of ridiculous. Rampage ult is on like a 45-second cooldown. Late game, you can literally just kill someone on repeat, and they can't do anything about it. Revenant, Hellfire Blast gets a nerf here, a little bit less armor pen, a little less bonus damage. Good. I think this will still be pretty good, I'm not gonna lie, but good change. Bounty Hunter, his passive gets a little bit less bonus physical power, so it's not like per level, it's at certain levels that you get this bonus. It'll make him spike a little bit harder, but also it's just worse late game, so it's just a nerf. Obliterate, his Q, more mana scale, or more mana cost, more physical power scaling. This is a weird ability because it scales per level. I think they want you to level this first, but I think right click max if you're going the fourth shot augment, I think right click max is so good on Revenant that I don't think you're leveling this first anyway. It depends how bad this augment is. Scar, his root is getting a root decrease by 0.1 seconds at rank 1. Very cool. Hellfire rounds, this is his reload. A little bit less missing HP damage, a little bit less move speed. Just overall nerfs to Revenant. I think this character will probably still be pretty good. Richter, regen decreased a little bit. This character is unkillable late game with this augment. And then shock therapy, his Q, little less damage. Very cool. This augment, late game, dude, if you're playing like Richter offlane, you're full tank, and you get to like level 16, you just become unkillable. It's actually disgusting. Like you just can't die. It is gross. Sereth, her healing augment, her Draconum augment basically gets a buff. This is a pretty big buff. 20% extra, it's total physical power scaling. Late game, this is disgusting. Early game, it's not great, but it's still okay. Her crit augment gets a bit of a buff as well. And then her stun augment gets a bit of a nerf. The stun augment going down, this doesn't really matter. I mean, this is mostly an interrupt anyway. This one getting a big buff. This one might be better now. The Draconum augment might be better now on Sereth. But she does get some pretty big nerfs here as well. Her autos go down. Her passive cooldown refund goes down. And then the big nerf here is to Ashbringer Sereth. The Q cooldown now commits after the ability ends, which means you can't permanently Q people anymore. Your Q does not proc Ashbringer on itself anymore, which is a very good change. This character, honestly, I feel like this character will still be fairly good. You just won't be going the Ashbringer build anymore. That item's kind of stupid. I kind of wish it would have gotten dumpstered a while ago, but you're not going to be able to go that build anymore. Severog. His passive, tier 2, is now only 15% armor shred. Keep in mind that base magic armor is going down, so this is kind of like a net even change. And then the cooldown reduction on his ult goes down a little bit. Very cool. Siphon damage decreased to level 5. Colossal Blow, his ultimate, again, less damage, more scaling. They're doing this to a lot of tanks, just taking away some of their base damage. I think it's a good change. Tanks will do a little less damage. Shinbi, her haste thing, her haste augment now gives a little bit extra. Still think it's probably not very good. Well, I don't know. I mean, this is a 50% increase. This might be okay now. It's a 50% increase. It's going to be better. You have to, the other thing, sorry, side note. The other thing you have to keep in mind is how dog Shinbi's other augments are, right? Like, Jungle Shinbi with this is probably better than Jungle Shinbi with any of her other augments, so might be better. Might be playable. Skylar, the ultimate augment that shoots 3 ultimates, gets a bit of a buff. Very cool. Plasma Grenade, a little bit lower cooldown early game. More scaling. Very cool. More damage for Skylar. Her E, the missiles that she shoots while flying, do a little bit more damage. And then her beam also does a little more damage. Buffs for Skylar all around. Sparrow. Movement speed increased on the Invis augment. Why? Could not tell you. Cooldown on her E also now commits when the ability's activated. So Ashbringer Sparrow, maybe? Realistically, the reason for this change is for her cooldown reset augment. Sparrow has an augment. When she gets a takedown, it resets all her basic cooldowns. Your E would not get the cooldown reset if it was active, right? Because it wasn't on cooldown yet, because it was active. That's why this changes here. I don't think Ashbringer Sparrow is going to be that good. Maybe, I guess, but I don't think that's really the play. And then her ultimate gets a bit of a nerf as well. Well, this is net even, realistically. It's less damage per shot, but you get one more shot at all ranks, so this actually comes out pretty even. Steel. On his ult augment, he gets increased ult radius. That's pretty dangerous. Steel, his wall augment, the double wall, now it reduces the cooldown. This double wall augment is really goofy. It's really small, but reducing the cooldown by 3 seconds is pretty good. Late game, that's like base 11 seconds. That's pretty good. More magic power, like more scaling on Q. Again, they're doing the same thing. minus 20 damage to shield bash. Like, oh, anyone remember when fucking 1.4 came out and this was 260? Like, down to 180. Who would have guessed? You know what I mean? They reduced all of Steel's base damage, increased his scaling. If you want to build AP Steel, go for it. But realistically, Steel's just going to do less damage now. Terra, her Iron Resolve. This is her dash augment. Gives a little bit more damage mid to level 1. This one's okay. I think it's super situational, but it's okay. Her passive, or her ult augment, gives her passive more frequently now, a little bit faster. And then her Q damage goes up a little bit. Bay, Bramble Patch additional range decreased. Good. This shit is ridiculous. I do not like how far this goes. It is very, very far. Infusion, this is the E augment that makes you gain ability haste. This one is gross. Don't use this augment. Use either of the other two. Wraith. They do buff the Sniper's Bounty augment. This one is still bad. Well, yeah, it's still bad. I would imagine this is still bad. I mean, obviously, if you're going physical Wraith, this is probably the augment you're going, but probably still bad. And then they add 15% scaling to his auto attacks. I don't know why. I mean, he doesn't really need it. Like, the downside to going Magic Wraith is that your autos don't do damage, but your abilities do. I don't really know why they're doing this, but AP Wraith gets a little better. Very cool. Wukong, bunch of base stat changes. He gets his passive a little bit less often with the augment. Yuri, let's see what they changed to Yuri. Move speed augment gets a bit of a buff. That's kind of interesting. I think this one is low-key fairly good. Like, that's a pretty... 10% extra move speed is a pretty big buff. Auto attack, less damage. Do they nerf the Q healing? Damage decreased a little bit. Missing HP, yeah. Missing HP healing reduced a little bit. This isn't a huge nerf. Honestly, you can probably still solo, like, Primal with this, right? This isn't a ginormous nerf. And then her dagger, her right-click cooldown goes up by half a second. This is just to stop her from getting instant resets permanently. And then her ult damage goes down a little bit. Xeris, less HP per minute. Very cool. Zinx, her infuse healing goes up a little bit. Very cool. Moving into item changes. Rot Tonic, +5. Very cool. Stamina Tonic, -5 haste. Good. This shit is kind of ridiculous. Marksman crest, sharpshooter crest. This is happening to basically all the crests. They're just getting buffed a little bit as far as base stats go. Eviscerator gets a weird change here where they're just making it significantly better. Rending strikes attack speed increased, now grants Omnivamp. Cooldown does go up in return for this, but still, like, this is really good. Like, 10% Omnivamp is really good, plus a little bit of extra attack speed. Might be viable now. The autocast window on Pacifier goes down, well, to what it's supposed to be. Apparently, this was 10 seconds, which is kind of gross. Sit back to 6, where it should be. Again, crests getting buffed, just generally speaking. So you'll see power increases, all this kind of stuff. Tempest, less healing, very cool. Sapphire's Mantle, less max HP, but a little bit more base damage, very cool. Let's see. Spell Slasher, a little less haste, but less cost. Okay. Ashbringer nerf. Realistically, the characters that do like Ashbringer could still build it. This isn't like completely gutting the item. You have to keep in mind how much they buffed Ashbringer before. Now they're nerfing it. The item has like 20 more power on it now than it did before people were buying it. Realistically, yeah, on characters like Grux, Rampage, right? You can still get away with it. Just a little bit worse now. Sky Splitter, more lifesteal on Sky Splitter. Ha ha ha. Mesmer, less HP, more power. Mind Razor, more power, less haste. This one's probably a buff, by the way. This one, also probably a buff. Nightfall, less healing. Bummer. This item is actually kind of good right now. Omen, less cooldown refund, but a little bit more damage. I think this item is just okay. I think it's okay. Deso gets a good change here. I like this Deso change a lot. So they buff the base stats. Well, they buff the pen base stat. They reduce the haste base stat. But ultimate haste increased to 25. That is a lot. That is like 20% CDR on your ultimate. This item alone is 35 haste on your ult. That is like 30. That's like 30% CDR on your ultimate. That is crazy. It is crazy. So, yeah, that is this is a crazy change, but I like it. Agawar, less HP means less power, right? So keep that in mind. Augmentation, more gold, less HP. Again, this item's always been really good, so like they're nerfing it again. Less HP means, you know, a little bit less power from Aegis as well, so keep that in mind. Like when you see these HPs dropped down, not only are you getting a little less squishy, but most of the time if you're building these HP items like Aug Salvation, right, you're building Aegis. So over the course of your build, you get 100 less HP, right, if you're building these 3 items, which is like 3 less power or whatever Aegis is, right? Just something to keep in mind. Doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a nerf. Salvation, cost goes down, but base stats also go down. Very cool. Combustion buff. 20% scaling on combustion is pretty good. This is probably going to be a good item now. What is this? This is a 75 base power item. When you finish this, you're probably sitting at, you're just under 100 power. Like this is plus 20. Third, fourth item combustion, probably going to be pretty good. I still don't think you're building this first, but could be good. Green Binder, less gold, less power, less HP. Very cool. This is being a 90 power item is kind of goofy, but net even change. Entropy gets a buff. Okay, so this entropy buff needs a little explaining, guys. Obviously, base power buff, very good. This is a very low power item. Degradation cooldown. So this is the passive of entropy is whenever you hit somebody with an ability, they take an additional 3% of your magical power. It adds 3% magic power scaling to all your abilities. This has a 0.3 second cooldown. Most things in the game do not tick fast enough for this. This going down to 0.2 seconds means that everything in the game now hits with this. So the main upsides are Argus right click, which will now get this on every tick, and Iggy Ultimate. Iggy Ultimate now gets this on every tick of Iggy Ult. I believe the rest of them were already in there. Like Gadget right click was already in there. I believe. I want to say, I don't know, man. What is Gadget right click? It's 2.5 seconds, ticks 10 times. So no, it wasn't. It was every other tick of Gadget right click. So yeah, a couple of these tick mages are getting buffs here. This is actually like a pretty crazy buff. Magnify, base stat changes, very cool. Realistically, pretty net positive change. Like Omnivamp increased is pretty big for the characters that like this item. Oathkeeper, less HP, good change. O-Crown, more power, bro. They are buffing mages. They are buffing the hell out of mages, which is crazy. Soulbinder, bigger cost, means you start stacking it later. Tainted Scepter, less power. This item has been okay. You're kind of forced to build it on a lot of mages. But in team comps where the rest of your team is building Tainted, you're not going to build this anymore. This is going to be Combustion now. Giant's Ring, less haste. Very cool. Stonewall, less HP. Tainted Bastion, less HP. 8 haste added, though, is big for Tainted Bastion. You could build this first now. And what is this? A little bit more mitigation. Keep in mind this is doubled, so 7% mitigation now. That's pretty good. Tainted Guard, less haste. Very cool. Bug fixes. Is there anything good in here? Gadget Sticky Mine. No longer going to be offset. Very cool. Yeah, I don't know. That's about it. So there's the patch. Mages got giga buffed for some reason. Not sure why, but they did buff the hell out of mages. Like, dude, this O-Crown change is insane, dude. This is insane. They did buff the hell out of mages. And they nerfed tanks. Carries didn't really get crazy changes. So, I don't know. Mages on top. New champ gotta be a mage. If they're buffing mages, new champ has to be a mage. True. True.